Thanks, Andrew. I'm Executive Vice President of National Taxpayers Union, and in addition to being here for the obvious reason to report on some of these poll results, have 13,500, roughly, other reasons, and that's the number of members who live in the state of Ohio from National Taxpayers Union. So they are very concerned that there is a disconnect in Washington between how the people feel about this issue and how politicians have been influenced into voting for this issue. And our poll results show that Ohioans, by wide margins across ideological and partisan divides, oppose this internet sales tax collection scheme, especially as it is embodied in the Marketplace Fairness Act, which is moving through Congress right now. I'll go to another slide, but as Andrew said, this pretty much has mirrored most of the poll results from Gallup as well as our own national poll. But we also decided to really drill down here, go beyond the simplistic and get into the specifics. And the next slide will show one of the questions we asked to test public perceptions and assumptions about this law. We went beyond the thing of saying, well, do you really hate paying more taxes on your internet purchases? Well, you can ask anyone whether they dislike paying taxes or not. A few civic-minded folks might say, no, I love it, but most of them are going to say it's an unpleasant task, even if it might be a necessary one. So we wanted to get into the mechanics of schemes like the Marketplace Fairness Act, and so we asked this question about how it would work. And how it works is like this. If a customer in New York makes a purchase from a firm based in Ohio, the state of New York can make that retailer in Ohio collect New York sales tax and remit it to New York. We explained that to the respondents in this poll. Did they favor or oppose this kind of approach? Look at the numbers. 72% opposed, only 20% favored. And picking up on what Andrew said about the intensity of the opposition, look at that. 49% strongly opposed, only 7% strongly favored, an intensity margin of 7-1 among opponents. Very strong. Again, across the ideological spectrum, huge margins of opposition, even among Democrats, over 40 points, among liberals, also over 40 points. Next slide, please. So we thought, let's ask this question in a different way. Let's try and figure out if perhaps these results are a false positive. No. Here again, we asked, well, the proposed legislation would create a form of a national sales tax collection mandate. That is, in a way, what schemes like the Marketplace Fairness Act would do, empower states to reach across their borders and enforce their tax collection laws on businesses in other states, mandated on businesses in other states. Once again, huge margins, 65-26 opposed. The intensity margin pretty much holds up. The partisan margins, still wide opposition among liberals, more than 30 points, among Democrats, 35 points. And again, even among younger voters and working age voters, the margins are heavier, but you get in 65 plus age brackets and still there is opposition. Next slide. Here we decided to hold a mock election and confront voters directly with the question. You have candidate G who basically favors changing the constitutional boundaries that have protected taxpayers from these extraterritorial collection schemes. voting for something like the Marketplace Fairness Act. You have candidate S, who opposes schemes like the Marketplace Fairness Act. No contest. The opponent of the tax collection law won by a landslide, 53 to 26%, and those margins held among Republicans, Democrats, independents. Pick a philosophy, pick a party. Widespread opposition not only to the law, but widespread opposition to a candidate who might embrace that law. This is a warning message, and it's a very important one because the Marketplace Fairness Act passed the United States Senate last year with bipartisan support, Republicans. And there is support for this act among Ohio Republicans. Republican candidates from Ohio who embrace this tax collection scheme are doing so at their own political risk. That is the clear message of these results.